Warriors at home on opening night. LeBron and the Lakers have a lot to prove in their game tonight against the Suns, who became the only team in NBA history to knock the King out of the first round of the playoffs. The Purple and Gold will follow that with another home game against the Grizzlies on Sunday. First things first, co-host Chris Broussard is joining us now. Chris, what's the Lakers' record on Monday?
It's 1-2.
There you go, Chris.
All right?
There you go.
They should be happy. They'll get a W. They'll get one W, but they'll be 1-2. I've got them losing tonight to Phoenix and then beating Memphis on Sunday. Here's the thing. Look, don't believe the hype that Frank Vogel's selling about it's going to be easy to get work Russ in and, you know, he just got to be himself and all of that. No, it's not going to be easy.
It's not.
That doesn't mean it eventually won't kick in, but it's not going to be easy. And tonight, what you might find is either LeBron and AD kind of deferring to get Russ going or Russ trying to do too much. And the bottom line is the three of them are not used to playing with one another. It takes time for superstars to learn how to play together. It's easier with one superstar and two role players because they know their place. You know, but when you got three superstars, it's tough to work it together. So I think you're going to see more growing pains tonight. Russ may have a big game, but I bet you either LeBron or AD doesn't if Russ does. They're not yet ready where the three of them can regularly play well together. That's what they'll get to, but they're not there yet. And then Phoenix, look, they're coming off a bad loss to Denver in their opener. They got Devin Booker didn't play well. I think he only had, 12 points, 15 points, shot 3 for 15, didn't play well. DeAndre Ayton wasn't particularly great. He's in a prove-it year. What better way to prove it since he didn't get his contract than to go out and play well against the Lakers. So I think Phoenix gets them tonight. And then Memphis, look, Ja Morant's going to give them trouble. But that's the only one. And so I think they'll be able to beat Memphis. Dylan Brooks, who was great last year in the playoffs against Utah, 26 points a game. He's out with a broken hand. So they really just got to worry about Ja. And I think they'll get that win for their first of the season.
We're going 2-1. We going 2-0 this weekend. I got a case of due on it for Skip Bayless.
Yes, you do.
Because he over here, oh, I want a case. I want a case. Because he's feeling really good right now. Because Russ stunk up the joint on opening night on a Tuesday night. Even though the big guns played well, he's thinking it's going to be a continuation of Tuesday night for Russ, and it will not be. And we got something for Phoenix, and we got something for Memphis. Look. I expect Russ to have, I said on opening night, he'd be 17-8-8. I believe he'll be closer to that. He's not going to turn the ball. He probably have the same amount of turnovers. But how about some defense? What about defense? We're going to talk about that, Chris. Are we going to give up 38 points in the fourth quarter, 32 in the third, and 30 in the first? Or are we going to play just a smidgen of defense? That should be enough. I understand that Phoenix didn't like the way they opened up. We didn't like the way we opened up. Something's going to have to give. And I expect LeBron James to continue this. You saw it look like he was 26 instead of 36, about to turn 37. I know you in trouble. And AD got some unfinished business because y'all been talking about Ayton shut him down. Ayton did a number on AD. He
did.
No, he didn't. Before AD got his groin hurt, you remember what AD did to him in game 2 and 3. Y'all remember it just like yesterday because I remember
you coming in here saying, "Where is AD? Well, what is he doing?"
He was hurt. Okay. He was hurt, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. I got this. Look, in rotations, why are you trying to play Rondo and Russ, and why are you trying to play Rondo, Russ, and Carmelo? That should never be a rotation. Never, ever, ever, unless you up by 50 or down by 50. Those are the only times those guys should be on the court together. I believe Frank Vogel, hopefully, I hope he's learned his lesson and he doesn't put those lineup on the court together tonight. But I expect LeBron and AD to be great again, as I expect them all year, and Russ to play better, and we win.
And I am with the voice of reason on this show, Chris Broussard, who once again comes in and closes the case for LeShannon Sharpe. And what is that case that for one case of Diet Dew, they're going to lose one game. And I don't even have to pick which game it is, but it's more probably tonight, Phoenix, because Devin Booker's going to come in with a vengeance. He did, as Chris pointed out, he shot 3 of 15. They got embarrassed on opening night at home.
Russ might have
you think he'll shoot 3 of 15 tonight?
No. Russ might have a 40-point triple-double, though.
Really? Okay. Well, now that brings us to Russ. Who is he? What is he? Identity crisis in full force. You're going to see it tonight because game one, I thought Russ would come out and say, I'm Russell Westbrook. Watch this. I'm all about TDs, as in triple doubles, and I thought he'd go 25, 12, and 10. And instead, he's been on such a hot seat. He's taken so much criticism, principally from me, like, who are you? How do you fit here? Because you don't fit. And he said, okay, watch this. I will defer. I will sacrifice. And look what the big two did. 34-11 and 33-11. You can't ask for more from the big two. And all Russ is doing is playing timid, tentative basketball in ways I'd never seen him play. And everybody said after the game, we got to tell Russ to just be Russ. Well, you know and I know that's the worst case scenario.
No, he ain't gonna...
Just be Russ? Russ must be Russ. Who is Russ? Well, he's exactly what you don't want in this mix because he's ball dominant. He is a sideshow of a stat machine, and he is nothing but a solo act. And I don't know how you integrate a solo act. The greatest solo act I've ever seen is Russell Westbrook. How do you integrate him into two other superstars who play beautifully off each other? Yeah. How do you fit the third star in there? Because he's definitely the third star, but he thinks in his heart of hearts, mind of minds, that he is the first star. No, that's what he thinks. He thinks that LeBron is aging and I'm better than AD. That's what he thinks. I promise you, if you put him on a lie detector right now, that's what he would tell you.
It's going to take us some time.
Okay.
It's going to take us a little time, Skip. It might not be the first. It might not be the first month. It might not be the second month. But we'll get it together. But we're going to get this together this weekend.
Okay. And by the way, hidden among this 34 points and 11 rebounds and 5 assists from LeBron James was 3 of 6 from the free throw line. We have several cases bet on, what was it,
73%.
75, I think it was, but I'll give you 73, so he's now 50%. And yet I had to see this weird video the other day of him shooting on a side basket.
We shoot free throws.
Yeah, shooting free throws.
We got that?
Oh, I think we do have that.
We got it, yeah.
We do have it.
Look at
this. Braun, that shaky hand free throw of his.
You see that, Skip?
That's one. Up, it's up, and it accidentally, it eked over the rim. That's 2. That's 3. And it was almost a switch. It hit a little bit of back iron. And it probably took like 30 minutes of shooting video to find the 3 in a row. It took 30 minutes to get 3 in a row. But he stood out there like a trooper until he finally made 3 in a row. And I'm convinced that may right there, that may be why they're going to win tonight against Phoenix. Because LeBron's ready to go, what, 12 of 12 from the free throw line?
Easy.
Easy? Okay, great. So, back to you, Chris. I'm sorry I stole the show from you. But, again, can Russ be Russ and fit in? That's the question.
No. No, there's no way. Like I said, he's going to have to accept being the third fiddle. Like, he could be great moving off the ball because of his athleticism. I mean, who could stop him? And LeBron's passing, but it's going to take a while for him to start doing that if he ever does it. You know, so they got some adjustments to be made. I get what Vogel's saying. Publicly, that's the right thing, but privately, he better be working on some other stuff with Russ. Here's something else I'm watching, guys. I think you noticed this, Skip. And I'm happy for Russ. Like, he's overjoyed, right? Clearly, to be back in L.A. Like, I've never seen him smiling. There doesn't seem to be a chip on his shoulder anymore. He's just happy to be home. But how can he play like that? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not making a proclamation. I'm just watching it and wondering it because we've always watched him play his entire career with a chip on his shoulder. And that's what's driven him to greatness. Now that he's happy, relaxed, nothing to prove, fitting in, like trying to fit in, is he going to be able to ball out that way? I don't know. It's just something I'm putting out there to watch for.
Yeah.
How?
The thing is, Chris, is that we have to change our expectations. Is that what we've seen from Russ is that he's averaged a triple-double 4 of the last 5 years. We've seen him have these incredible seasons, but he's not going to be that. He's probably going to be somewhere around 15, 16, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. That's plenty good enough. If AD and LeBron play like we think they can play, that's plenty good enough. We don't need them to be 25, 12, and 12. They don't need that. They need a guy that they can count on, and that's what they've missed. They've missed that third scoring option, a guy that they can count on. They say, you know what, we can pencil him in. He's going to give us 17 tonight. They haven't had that. Kuzma might give him 20 one night, but he might give him 2 the next. KCP was the same. He come and go, he get hot for 2 or 3 games, and then he go cold for 10, 11 games.
Do you really think Russell Westbrook wants to average 17 points a night?
That's what we need.
Okay, that's what you need. That's not what he wants. It's not who he is.
Does he want to win? Is that what he wants?
I've never thought so. I thought he prioritized statistics over victories. That's what I believe.
I don't believe he's going to prioritize that now.
Yeah, well, maybe tonight LeBron and AD need to defer to Russ.
No. There you go. There you see? He's just talking like that, Chris, so he can try to win a case to do. Talk about defer to Russ. You know good and well, LeBron and AD not about to take no backseat. Nor should they.
Well, they didn't take one the other night, and they went to your restaurant because they got an L, right?
That's all right. Hey, guess what? We're going to be right back in business tonight, though.
Yeah. Okay, you better be.
Wait till we get to the Clippers.
It's just going to take some time for this Lakers team, but eventually it will get better. Chris,
it will.
Thank you so much for joining us. Coming up next, will Derrick Henry have another monster game this weekend? Don't go anywhere.
Unfortunately, yep.